Welcome back to the Twist of Fate podcast. We're here at Consumer Electronics Show 2026, and we just got out of another awesome session. This session, hosted by Digital Hollywood, entitled The Studio, the Network, the Brand, the Agency, and Global Vision. This is a real interesting panel where you take some of Hollywood's executive leadership, and I mean, these are really big people that, in my opinion, are dictating the brands that win, lose, and indirectly the type of cultures and the way we identify with the world comes from a lot of said brands. Just to go through some of the names, because these are really interesting people. First off, one thing that really blew my mind, there was Sharon Russell from Warner Brothers Discovery. And she herself had named brands that she had been involved with, such as Superman, the new one. Also Sinners, which is a big favorite of mine. If you haven't seen Sinners, you got to go see that. Really to hear her perspective on things, amazing. Another person that I thought really stood out was Caitlin Cronin, who had recently joined. She's the vice president at Tubi. And Tubi, if you don't know, is a streaming platform. And her perspective and just her energy, Tubi is a platform that's on the move. I really think I'll get into that a little later. Some of the things they're doing, they might beat some other people in the streaming wars, even though they came later. Another one was Sarah Fuckler from Tangible, who very insightful perspective on a lot of things. Margaret Stahl from Stonekite, Susan Schiekofer, I probably butchered that one, Chief Media Officer, and then I believe there was Keith Soljaki from Public Media. So listen, everybody on this panel was highly knowledgeable of how major brands work and flow, and I'll get into some of this. As I started, I think many of you there need to think a little bit about how entertainment influences culture, which is where the panel started off. And, some of the things, one of the first questions the panelists really did well, asked the question, what does it take to launch an entertainment brand? And I believe it was Caitlin's response, which really, I wrote it down. I was like, wow. At Tubi, they stick with you. They hope that you pick them and that you stay with them. So stick with, if you want to think of it, stick with you, pick you, and stay with you is really kind of like their mantra. And they talked a lot about what it means to have a frictionless user experience. They don't want you to see a lot of ads. They want you to enjoy the content that you want, but then they want to introduce through their feeds new things that you may like and do it in innovative ways. I was really impressed with that. Another example brought up a great way that an agency can create value for three complexes. Basically, the brand, the audience, and the partner in which they introduce. And they actually reference Wicked, the musical, how it showed up in Dancing with the Stars, where it made sense that, the choreography, the singing, the performance of the two platforms made a lot of sense. And it, the numbers hold, it trended, right? So it's really interesting to see here. And then there was a point by Caitlin who, I think she is a rock star. I didn't get to ask her any questions, but she actually worked at Marvel and a lot of other on comic books. She worked in entertainment and video games. Really, really crazy. But she had mentioned that the late Stan Lee, rest his soul, actually came up with the idea of naming the artists in the bullpit and making the artist part of the product, which means that the creators actually take part with their creations in reaching audiences, and that's what it takes to succeed. I thought that was a just brilliant point, and we don't do enough of that. And even my company, we're working on our own comic book. This is the plug, Tales of Great American Entrepreneurs. And yeah, I probably need to convince some of my artists to, kind of come out of their shells and, hey, maybe become a household name, right? And I don't know if they're going to be excited about that or not. Another example of a great concept they talked about is seeking what's called the participation moment. And they brought it up that the Minecraft movie was a great tie-in to obviously a video game and products that if you start to watch that movie and like that movie, you can participate by having this experience that goes beyond the movie, which obviously made buku bucks for anybody involved. So I thought that was cool. Another point that Sheeran made, it was one of the first times I've heard this concept that culture moves at the speed of culture. Wow, like mind blown, right? I think that her point with that is that people will consume content and change their culture, and that the people, as they change, start to change said content. It's this continuous cycle. Really interesting. We also heard a lot about Tubi that did something I never heard of, that Tubi actually streamed and hosted the Super Bowl this past year, and they shared that there was a meme about their audience saying, hey, this experience or this thing that I'm watching, this should be a Tubi movie. Like, as in, Tubi makes lots of content that maybe some people don't like, but somebody may like, right? So they actually reached out for the Super Bowl, and they made these memes, this meme approach, as a way for Super Bowl spots on Tubi, and is to, try to create new memes. I think that's really neat and really cool, of taking some people's perceived social media negativity and turning it into positivity. So I think this is innovative stuff, guys. I think the importance of this panel really, and one of the panelists said that these days in marketing and media and advertising and all things, that the stakes are high, timelines are getting shorter, investments are high. So you've got to get it right. And that is my love letter and my conclusion to this awesome panel that I hope many of my audience that is striving business owners, small, medium business people, and entertainment people, athletes, think in your own life how you can get it right. That means when in peace, prepare for war. You prepare, you train. But either way, and whatever you do, the bottom line is history will reflect the fact whether you got it right. So I hope you get it right, and like, share, and subscribe to our content. We're trying to bring these stories of technology, advancement, innovation here at CES to you. And with that, I will see you on the next Twist of Fate.